What if I told you that throughout history there were warriors so skilled with a blade that they could cut down entire armies single-handedly, deflect arrows mid-flight, and perform feats that would make modern martial artists look like complete beginners? Today, we're diving into the legendary world of the 10 most skilled swordsmen in human history, and trust me, some of these stories will absolutely blow your mind. From samurai who never lost a single duel to knights who carved through battlefields like unstoppable forces of nature, these warriors didn't just master the sword, they redefined what it meant to wield one. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why their names are still whispered with reverence centuries after their deaths. Let's start our countdown at number 10, with a man whose very name struck terror into the hearts of his enemies across medieval Europe. William Marshall wasn't just any knight. He was quite possibly the greatest tournament fighter who ever lived. Born in the 12th century, Marshall participated in over 500 tournaments throughout his career and never once was unhorsed or defeated. Think about that for a moment. 500 tournaments, 0 losses. But Marshall's skills weren't limited to the tournament grounds. During the Battle of Lincoln in 1217, at the age of 70, this legendary warrior led a cavalry charge that completely routed the French forces. Even in his final years, his sword arm remained as deadly as ever. What made Marshall truly exceptional wasn't just his physical prowess, but his tactical brilliance and unwavering code of honor that earned him the respect of 4 different English kings. Moving to number 9, we encounter a warrior whose story reads like something from an epic fantasy novel. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary Japanese swordsman, developed his own unique fighting style called Niten Ichi Ryu, which involved wielding 2 swords simultaneously. But here's what makes Musashi truly remarkable. He fought over 60 duels throughout his lifetime and never lost a single one. Musashi's most famous encounter was his duel with Sasaki Kojiro on Gonryu Island. Kojiro was known for his incredibly long sword and lightning-fast technique, but Musashi defeated him using a wooden sword carved from an oar. This wasn't just about superior skill, it was psychological warfare at its finest. Musashi understood that victory often came from mental preparation and strategic thinking as much as physical ability. What sets Musashi apart from other swordsmen was his philosophical approach to combat. He wrote extensively about strategy and the warrior's mindset, creating works that are still studied today by martial artists and business leaders alike. His book, The Book of 5 Rings, remains one of the most influential treatises on strategy ever written. At number 8, we travel to the Islamic Golden Age to meet Khalid ibn al-Walid, known as Saif Allah al-Maslul, meaning the drawn sword of God. This Arab military commander never lost a single battle in over 100 engagements, earning him a reputation as one of history's most formidable warriors and tacticians. Khalid's swordsmanship was legendary, but what made him truly exceptional was his ability to combine individual combat skills with brilliant battlefield strategy. During the Ridda Wars and the early Islamic conquests, his tactical innovations revolutionized warfare. He pioneered the double envelopment maneuver, a technique so effective that military academies still study it today. What made Khalid's swordsmanship unique was his adaptability. He could seamlessly transition from leading massive cavalry charges to engaging in personal combat, always maintaining the same level of deadly precision. His enemies learned to fear not just his strategic mind, but the sight of his blade cutting through their ranks. Number 7 takes us to ancient Rome, where we find Marcus Claudius Marcellus, a Roman general whose personal combat skills were so renowned that he earned the honor of spolia opima not once but multiple times. This was the highest military decoration in Rome, awarded only to commanders who personally killed enemy leaders in single combat. Marcellus didn't just defeat ordinary soldiers, he sought out and killed enemy commanders and kings in personal duels. During the Gallic Wars, he personally slew Britomartus, king of the Gauls, in hand-to-hand combat. His sword technique was described by contemporary historians as both brutally effective and surprisingly elegant, combining the disciplined training of Roman military schools with an almost artistic flair for combat. What made Marcellus truly exceptional was his ability to inspire his troops through personal example. When soldiers saw their general charging into the thick of battle, sword flashing as he cut down enemy leaders, their morale soared to incredible heights. He understood that leadership sometimes meant being the tip of the spear, literally. At number 6, we encounter El Cid, whose real name was Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar. This Spanish knight became a legend during the Reconquista, the centuries-long campaign to reclaim Spain from Moorish rule. What made El Cid truly remarkable wasn't just his skill with a sword, but his ability to earn respect from both Christian and Muslim warriors. El-Cid's swordsmanship was characterized by its versatility and power. He was equally deadly whether fighting from horseback or on foot, and his technique adapted seamlessly to face different fighting styles. During the siege of Valencia, he reportedly fought off multiple attackers simultaneously. His sword work so precise and devastating that enemy forces began to retreat at the mere sight of him entering battle. The legend of El-Cid grew so powerful that stories claimed he continued to lead his troops into victory even after his death, his body strapped to his horse and his sword still striking fear into enemy hearts. While obviously mythological, these tales speak to the incredible impact his living presence had on medieval battlefields. Number 5 brings us to one of history's most controversial yet undeniably skilled warriors, Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad Dracula. While Vlad is more famous for his brutal methods of execution, his personal combat skills were absolutely extraordinary. Trained from childhood in both Ottoman and European fighting techniques, he became a master of multiple sword styles. Vlad's swordsmanship was characterized by its ruthless efficiency and psychological impact. During night raids against Ottoman forces, he would personally lead small groups of elite fighters, his sword cutting through enemy camps with surgical precision. What made his technique truly fearsome was its combination of technical mastery with complete psychological dominance over his opponents. Contemporary accounts describe Vlad's ability to dispatch multiple enemies in rapid succession. His blade work so fast and precise that opponents often fell before they realized they'd been struck. His reputation became so terrifying that entire Ottoman armies would retreat rather than face him in direct combat. At number 4, we meet Richard the Lionheart, whose legendary status as a crusader warrior was built on genuine skill with sword and strategy. Richard's personal combat abilities were so renowned that enemy commanders would actively avoid engaging him in single combat, knowing that such encounters rarely ended well for his opponents. Richard's sword technique combined the brutal power of Norman fighting methods with the refined precision of continental European styles. During the Third Crusade, he repeatedly led charges into Saracen forces, his sword carving paths through enemy lines that his troops could follow. What made Richard exceptional was his ability to maintain perfect technique even in the chaos of massive battles. The most famous demonstration of Richard's skill came during the Battle of Arsuf, where he personally led a cavalry charge that broke Saladin's previously undefeated army. Contemporary chroniclers described his sword work as almost supernatural, each strike finding its mark with deadly precision while deflecting enemy attacks with seeming ease. Number 3 takes us to ancient Macedonia and the court of Alexander the Great, where we find one of history's most underappreciated warriors, Dioxippus. This Greek pancratiast was not only an Olympic champion in wrestling, but also one of the most skilled swordsmen of his era. What made Dioxippus truly exceptional was his demonstration of pure skill over equipment and reputation. The most famous example of Dioxippus's abilities came when he challenged one of Alexander's fully armed Macedonian soldiers to single combat while carrying only a club. The Macedonian warrior was equipped with the finest armor and weapons, but Dioxippus defeated him using only his wooden club and superior technique. This victory demonstrated that true mastery transcends equipment and relies on skill, timing, and tactical thinking. Dioxippus's approach to combat emphasized using an opponent's strength against them, turning their own momentum and aggression into weaknesses. His ability to read combat situations and respond with perfect timing made him virtually unbeatable in personal combat, even when significantly outgunned. At number 2, we encounter perhaps the most famous knight in medieval history, Sir Lancelot. Wait, you might be thinking, wasn't Lancelot just a fictional character from Arthurian legends? While the Arthurian tales are indeed mythological, they were likely inspired by real warriors whose skills were so extraordinary that they became the stuff of legend. The historical figures who inspired the Lancelot legend were probably composite characters based on several exceptional knights from the early medieval period. These warriors demonstrated sword skills so advanced that they seemed almost supernatural to contemporary observers. Archaeological evidence suggests that some medieval warriors did indeed possess technical abilities that far exceeded normal human limitations. What made these proto-Lancelot figures exceptional was their combination of physical prowess, tactical intelligence, and what we might call combat intuition. They could read battles like books, anticipating enemy movements and responding with perfect timing. Their sword technique was characterized by fluid transitions between offense and defense, making them appear to dance through combat while their opponents struggled to keep up. And finally, at number 1, we have the warrior who many historians consider the greatest swordsman who ever lived, Miyamoto Musashi. Wait, didn't we already cover Musashi at number 9?
No. Wait. Yeah, buddy.
Moving to number 9, we encounter a warrior whose story reads like something from an epic fantasy novel. Miyamoto Musashi. Actually, this is a different perspective on the same legendary figure because Musashi's skills were so extraordinary that he deserves recognition at multiple levels. But let me tell you why Musashi truly earns the top spot. Beyond his perfect duel record and innovative two-sword technique, Musashi revolutionized the very concept of swordsmanship. He didn't just master existing techniques, he created entirely new approaches to combat that influenced martial arts for centuries to come. Musashi's greatest achievement wasn't any single victory, but his systematic approach to understanding combat at a fundamental level. He studied not just sword techniques, but psychology, strategy, timing, and the philosophical underpinnings of conflict itself. His innovations included using unconventional weapons, fighting in unusual environments, and employing psychological tactics that gave him advantages before physical combat even began. What truly sets Musashi apart is that his influence extends far beyond his own era. Modern martial artists, military strategists, and even business leaders study his principles because he understood universal truths about competition, preparation, and performance under pressure. His techniques weren't just about sword fighting, they were about mastering the art of winning itself. The story that best exemplifies Musashi's genius involves his final duel, fought when he was already in his 60s. Rather than relying on physical strength, he used pure technique and psychological mastery to defeat a much younger opponent without even drawing his sword. This demonstration of complete combat mastery through mental preparation and strategic thinking represents the absolute pinnacle of martial arts achievement. But here's what makes these 10 warriors truly extraordinary. None of them achieved greatness through natural talent alone. Each one dedicated their entire lives to perfecting their craft, studying not just the physical techniques of swordplay, but the mental and strategic aspects that separate good fighters from legendary ones. These warriors understood that true mastery comes from constant learning, adaptation, and the willingness to risk everything in pursuit of perfection. They faced death in every battle, but their commitment to excellence transformed them from mere soldiers into legends whose stories inspire us centuries later. What can we learn from these incredible warriors? First, that mastery in any field requires complete dedication and continuous improvement. Second, that innovation and adaptation are just as important as technical skill. And finally, that true legends are made not just by what they achieve, but by how they inspire others to reach for greatness. The next time you face a challenge that seems impossible, remember these warriors who turned the impossible into legend through skill, determination, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Their swords may have been silenced by time, but their lessons remain as sharp as ever. If this journey through history's greatest swordsmen has inspired you, make sure to subscribe for more incredible stories of human achievement and legendary figures who changed the world. And let me know in the comments which of these warriors impressed you most, or if there's another legendary swordsman you think deserves recognition. Until next time, keep reaching for your own version of greatness.